Hi guys, welcome. Today we will take a look at another important feature of nRF devices, and this feature is Watchdog Timer. A Watchdog Timer just watches the malfunctioning, and if there is some malfunctioning in the program or there are some unresponsive events that are occurring, the device is going to get reset. So what happens in a Watchdog Timer is we have to continuously feed its channel, and if we stop feeding its channel and the counter goes to a specific value, the Watchdog Timer is just going to reset the microcontroller. This feature is mostly used in mission critical application or some applications that can harm someone if the microcontroller operates in an unresponsive manner. So the Watchdog Timer is really important feature, and once the final application is completed, make sure you implement the Watchdog Timer there as well. So if the device responds in an unfamiliar way, the device is going to get reset automatically. You should learn this feature as well. So let's start programming it and let's see how we can use the Watchdog. So first of all, let's create a new project. So I'm just going to go in the PC. Here in the C directory we have the nRF SDK, and we will go in the examples, and from the examples we go in the peripheral, copy the Watchdog Timer. So we will copy this example WDT. We will copy this and we will paste it in my projects. And let's open this, and we are using nRF5 2832, so I will open this one and go into the Sagar Embedded Studio and open the EM project file. So let me remove some stuff. And let me zoom in a little so you can see it easily. So first of all, let's see if the Watchdog is configured. So we have to see if it's enabled or not in the configuration. So go in the SDK config and right click on this and click on the CMSIS configuration wizard. Open this and then go into the drivers, and you can see here Watchdog, and it's enabled. Okay, the Watchdog is enabled, so we are good to go with this, and let's close this. First of all, we have to allocate a channel to Watchdog, so I'm just going to configure the Watchdog Timer. We also need an event handler as well. So whenever the Watchdog Timer gives an interrupt, if there is some malfunctioning in the code and the Watchdog Timer gives an interrupt, we have to quickly handle that interrupt. So for that we need a handler, so I'm just going to create a handler. So in this handler we have the minimum possible time, and we have to do our task very fast, otherwise it's going to reset after 2 clock cycles of low frequency clock. So let's initialize the Watchdog Timer. Once the Watchdog Timer is enabled, make sure you have placed the code to update this timer, otherwise the Watchdog is going to reset your microcontroller before even you get on the function. So be careful with this. So first of all, we have to configure it. I'm just going to configure it with the default settings, and then we have to initialize it. In the initialization, we just have to pass the handler and configurations. Next thing we need to do is we have to allocate the Watchdog Timer a channel. And last thing we need to do is we have to enable the Watchdog. So be very careful with this function. Once you enable the Watchdog Timer, it's just going to start. Use this function somewhere else when you are coding. I'm just going to use this here because I will just work with some LEDs, so it's not going to be a big trouble. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we have to initialize the LEDs, and we can just simply use the both support package to initialize the LEDs. And I'm just going to give a delay. So this is just going to turn on and turn off LEDs for 10 times. Basically this code is just going to show that the board has started, so we will use this to see if the board has a reset or not. So once everything is done, I'm going to turn off all of the LEDs, and then I'm going to initialize the watchdog by calling that initialization function. And now we have to feed the watchdog. If I don't feed it within some specific time, it's going to reset. Oops, I forgot to put equal there. Yes, this button one. Okay, once we put the channel feeding here, and we have set this button here, so what's going to happen is this loop is going to just feed the channel automatically, and if I press the button and if I continue to press the button, this is going to stay here in this loop, in this while loop, and the code is not going to feed the channel, which is going to cause the reset. We need to do two more things here because we are using this button, and this button is not initialized by this board, because in the boards I'm just initializing the LEDs. So for the button we have to do the configuration. So I'm just going to configure the button. Okay, the button is configured, and one last thing to do is we need to initialize the low frequency timer as well. So to do that, okay, the clock is initialized, the button is set, LEDs are initialized, so I'm inverting the LEDs, and then I will turn off all the LEDs, so all the LEDs are off, and I will initialize the watchdog timer. So we have enabled it already, so as soon as it initializes, it's enabled. So last thing here is I have configured the button pin, and in the loop this watchdog is just going to be fed automatically, and if I continue to press this button, and it's going to stay here at this statement, because this while loop is waiting for me to release the button. If I press this button for a long time, this is going to just reset the device, because the watchdog timer is not fed here. To see what's the parameter for the time before it resets the device, we have to go into the SDK config. So right click on SDK config and click on the CMSys configuration wizard. Open this and go into the nRF drivers and click on the watchdog, and here you can see the reload value. So here it's 2000 means 2000 milliseconds. So in 2 seconds, if I press the button for more than 2 seconds, it's going to hold it, and the watchdog timer is going to reset the microcontroller. So we can change this to 1000 milliseconds, and let's change it to 1000 milliseconds, save it, and click on the close. So our code is complete, so let's build it. Okay, it's built, and click on the target, click on the connect, and make sure your device is connected. Click on the download and click on erase all, and click on the download. So once it's downloaded, you can see it's going to reset if I press the button 1, and now it's in normal mode, it's working. And if I press the button, and you can see it automatically resets if I press the button for longer than 1 second. So as you can see, if I press here, and you can see it's going to reset it. So if I press the button and release it, and it's not long enough, the Watchdog timer is just going to be fed continuously, and the microcontroller works fine. I hope so you have learned something new today. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, hit the like button, and please click on the bell icon to get notifications on time. I will be uploading new videos every week. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments below, and the link for this code and the information is in the description of this video. Be sure to check it out, play around with this code, and thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.